What happens when you do a mitzvah?
You're bringing positive energy into this world. You're doing something towards an ultimate plan.
Yes. Why?
That's what you're told to do.
No. What is it about the mitzvah? If you do a mitzvah, you get closer to the Eibishter. Why?
Because Hashem is the one who said.
Let me give you a little analogy. If a mother tells her son to bring her tea, you've heard this before? No?
It's building a connection between the mother and the son.
You've heard it? No. Okay. It's time. A mother asks her son to make her tea. Every day, twice a day, for 50 years. And every day, twice a day, for 50 years, he brings her tea. At the end of 50 years, he finds out that his mother never drinks tea. She hates tea. She spills it out. So he goes to his mother and he says, "What is this? For 50 years I'm bringing you tea and you don't even like tea? You don't drink it? Why did you ask me to bring you tea?" So she says, "It's not because I need tea. I want to give you an opportunity to get closer to me. So I asked you to bring me tea." Sounds nice, yeah? Good mother. You'd love to have such a mother. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Oh, 1 second. If a mother doesn't drink tea, but asks her child to make her tea, is she letting her child get closer to her, or she's not letting him get closer?
She's not, because he's not doing what he wants.
Letting him feel as if he's getting closer.
But is he?
No.
Why? Why is he not getting closer?
Not actually. Because it doesn't actually mean anything to her, the tea. It's not a natural connection.
But he's bringing...
She's making him make. She's like forcing the connection. He's not doing it of his own will. She's telling him to make the tea. So he's making the tea. He's making the tea.
Look, if I wanted to keep you out of my life, I don't want you in my life. But you're a nudnik, right? So how do I keep you out of my life? I ask you to do things that I don't care about. Run around the corner a few times. Do me a favor. Go outside and see if it's raining. I'm giving you a chance to get closer to me, or I'm getting you out of my life. If you ask somebody to do something that you don't need and don't care about, you're saying, "I'm not going to let you do anything important for me. Go do something stupid and stay out of my life." Aha. So, if the Eibishter says, "Do the mitzvah and you'll get closer to me," it means... So, if I wanted to get closer to you, what does that mean? What's closeness? The first thing is, if I want to get closer to you, there has to be something that is closer to you that I want. Maybe I am the closest thing to you. Can't get any closer. But if I find out there is something that is so precious to you, it is so close to your heart, that it is much closer than I am, now I'm jealous. I want to be that close to you. Like, for example, your life is very precious to you, and you're not letting me into your life. So I want to get closer to you. I want to be as close to you as your life. So the first thing is, if I want to get closer to you, I have to find out, is there anything closer to you? The second thing I have to find out is, what is closer to you? The third thing I have to find out is, am I invited? Because if I'm not invited, then... So, for example, you have a house, and your house is the most precious thing in your life, and I'm not invited to your house? I don't feel so good about that. I want to get closer to you. But I can't just walk into your house without your permission. That won't get me close. That will get me thrown out. So what is a mitzvah? A mitzvah is something that is closer to the Eibishter's heart than me. He told me about it, invited me to get closer, and allows me to do those things that are closer to his heart than me. So when I do them, the result is I am now as close to him as the mitzvah. Or in a sense, I become the mitzvah. That's the idea that schar mitzvah is the mitzvah. That doing the mitzvah has its own schar. What is the schar? Close. Now I become a mitzvah. Now I become as close to him as the mitzvah. What happens to the son who brings the tea that the mother doesn't need? If he was getting a report card, he would get an A+ for obedience, but 0, or not 0, F, for closeness. If you're obedient, he does what his mother asked. For 50 years he did it. That's very obedient. So why isn't that close? Because obedience is not closeness. Who do you obey? Your best friend?
Someone you're scared of.
You obey someone that is very far from you. You obey a king. You obey a principal. Right?
Hopefully the other part is surrendered.
So obedience means you're far apart. When we think of the Eibishter as a king, then the right response is obedience. If you think of the Eibishter as your father, then obedience is not enough. Then there has to be closeness. Now the question is like this. The Eibishter asks me to eat matzah on Pesach. Why? Because Pesach and matzah are so close to the Eibishter that it's closer to him than me. And if I eat the matzah on Pesach, I become as close as the mitzvah. But isn't it also true that every Jew is closer to the Eibishter than any mitzvah? Let's put it differently. If there is something very close to your heart, the closest thing to your heart, and you are willing to share it with me, what does that mean?
You're as important as that.
As important, or
Less important.
More important.
you're willing to give me what is most important to you? Then I'm even more important.
But Hashem made the mitzvahs for us. No?
See, that's the problem. If he did it for us, then it's like the mother who says, make me tea, even though I don't need it.
But he made it for us to do. Like, do not
He
for us.
gave it to us.
He made us to do the mitzvah.
Let's correct that. He didn't make the mitzvah for us. He didn't make the mitzvah. The mitzvah is him. He gave the mitzvah to us, for us. But why is it so good for us that he gave us the mitzvah? Because the mitzvah is so much a part of him. If it wasn't so much a part of him, then if he gives it to us, so big deal. He doesn't want it, you keep it. But if it is so precious to him and he gives it to us, that's something. So, What's closer to the Eibishter, the mitzvah or the yid? So why do we need to get closer to him by doing a mitzvah?
Because that's what he likes.
He likes us.
But he likes the mitzvah. The mitzvah is part of him. When we do the mitzvah, it's like, it's not like bringing the tea. It's like the eating the matzah on face.
Yes. So the mitzvah is a part of him, but so am I.
We do it right. So
Maybe every mitzvah is more closer to him than the next. So every time you do another mitzvah, you get even closer to him, even though you're already.
But if I am closer than the mitzvah, how can the mitzvah get me closer? First of all, is a yid closer to the Eibishter than a mitzvah?
Because the mitzvah is part of Hashem.
so are we.
And by doing the mitzvah,
Mm-hmm. So, how do we figure this one out?
Did God give us a present by giving us purpose? Do that? Or give us.
Obviously, which part of me is close to the Eibishter? The Nefesh Elikiyas. The rest of me is not. So what happens when I do a mitzvah? The Nefesh HaBahamis, the other part of me that is not close to the Eibishter at all, gets to be as close to the Eibishter as a mitzvah. So, who benefits what? Does the mitzvah make the Jew greater, or does the Jew make the mitzvah greater? Both. Both. In some way, a mitzvah doesn't mean anything if nobody's doing it. What's a matzah if nobody eats it? What's a pair of tefillin if nobody puts it on? Or if a guy puts it on? Nothing. So in that sense, the yid makes the mitzvah. On the other hand, what's a yid without a mitzvah? So both are true. In some way, the mitzvah gets us closer to the Eibishter, and in some way, we enhance the mitzvah when we do it.
So then how come if we do one mitzvah, we're close to Hashem, then how come we have to keep doing the mitzvahs like over and over? Why can't we do each one of the mitzvahs once and then we're as close to Hashem as you could be? 'Cause
That would be true if we did the mitzvah and nothing else. But if you do the mitzvah and then you do something stupid, then you got to do it again, and you got to keep. So
If I don't do something stupid,
then you're a tzaddik.
but tzaddikim also do mitzvahs. So
Tzaddikim don't do mitzvahs to get closer to the Eibishter.
why?
Tzaddikim do mitzvahs because that's their nature. That's how it's going to be when Mashiach comes. After Mashiach comes, why are we going to do mitzvahs? Not to fix the world, not to get closer. The Nefesh HaBahamis won't be a behemoth anymore. So why will we do mitzvahs? It's almost like, why are you nice to the person you're engaged to? Because you want to make sure he marries you. But why are you nice to him after you're married? You don't have to be nice anymore. Hey, we're married, so once you're married, you're nice because that's you, not because you're trying to accomplish something. So until Mashiach comes, we're nice because we want to get there. Once Mashiach comes, we will be nice because nice people are nice. Not because we're trying to do something or accomplish something. Because good is good, so you're good. Make sense?